While I'm still working on this 500A, when I went to take this off, I remembered years ago not knowing how to do it and having a hard time finding a resource how to do it. So I thought I'd show how, on a vintage Singer machine, how most of the slide plates can be removed and cleaned and replaced. So, normally you slide it open to a slot here to work on the bobbin area, but you can remove this by pushing it forward. You don't really have to have the feed dogs and stuff out. I just do because I'm taking apart the machine. But all you have to do is slant this back end up about 15 degrees or so and just keep sliding it back. And come on off of there. There we go. So there's a little steel spring clip right here that's screwed in, and there's a screw under here. The other end, you can back that off and take this out if you need to replace it or clean it. On the back side of this, you see there's grooves on each side here that go on the end of that spring clip. And if you have trouble sliding your plate back and forth, this can get stuff built up in here. So you can just wash it out or clean it with alcohol and a toothpick. And you can see some old thread pieces. So on the front end, the slot comes all the way out. On the back side, it's crimped so that when you open it, it stops and doesn't just fall off. And when you want to put it back on, you start back up here, and again, you just raise this up slightly. And what we've got to do is get this spring clip back in the grooves. So just take one side with your small screwdriver and gently pry up the corner and put it in the groove. So you see this is kind of at an angle now because this end of the clip is in the groove and this one isn't. So maintaining a little pressure to keep this side in, we'll just gently lift up the other, wiggle it a little and wiggle it in. So now both ends of the clips are in those grooves, and then you can bring the plate forward towards you. Now you can tell if you've got both clips because if you lift, you feel the spring, but it's on there good and tight. If you miss one of the ends of the springs, you'll know right away. We get this one up here. We don't get this one quite right. You close it. Looks pretty good. This one's tight, but this one's not. So you'll know right away if you missed it. So just get one in, keep it at a little angle, lift the other up about a 32nd of an inch until the corner engages, and then slide it down. So it's tight on both sides. It stops on the open and close. So it's not too bad. And I'll show you that the head of that screw is right there. To remove it completely, it's a deal because you got to take the whole hook out. But if you come on this end, just under the top of the bed, there's a small, that's the end of the screw, and it's slotted so you can back it off and open it enough to unhook that spring. It's like a little C-hook on it, and that way you can remove the spring if it's bent or dirty without taken out the hook. So there is enough room there to back it off, and then the hook goes to the spring goes to the right and unhooks. And I think when you're turning it this way, it's instead of lefty loosey, righty tighty, it's opposite, because you're at the opposite end of the screw. So you turn it right from here to loosen it, and it only turns 2 or 3 times until it hits the hook. Then you can wiggle the spring out to clean under it or replace it. So that's how to remove and replace the slide plate on many of the vintage Singers. 1, 2, and there we go. Thanks again for watching.